Imagine a secret part of you, lurking in the dark, controlling your life without you even knowing it. This hidden force dictates your reactions, fuels your biggest fears, and sabotages your deepest dreams. What if I told you that confronting this part isn't scary, but the only path to true freedom and self-mastery? Today, we are diving deep into the mind of the legendary psychologist, Carl Jung, and uncovering the brutal, yet beautiful truth about knowing yourself. Get ready, because this journey inward changes everything you thought you knew about being you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you decided to click on this video because what we're discussing today is absolutely foundational. When we talk about knowing yourself, most people think of a surface-level personality test or recognizing their favorite color. But Carl Jung taught us that self-knowledge is an epic, lifelong quest into the unconscious abyss. He wasn't interested in your morning routine. He wanted to explore your soul's deepest architecture, especially the parts you desperately try to hide. This profound process he called individuation is the ultimate self-improvement project you never knew you needed to undertake. Individuation is Jung's fancy term for becoming a complete, whole human being. It's the incredibly complex process where you integrate all the conflicting parts of your personality, your conscious ego, your personal unconscious, and even the collective unconscious into a functioning unit. Think of it like assembling a complex psychological puzzle where the pieces sometimes fight each other instead of fitting seamlessly. Jung believed that unless you actively pursue this integration, you remain fragmented, often acting out roles dictated by society or family expectations, rather than living authentically as your genuine self. The first stop on our Jungian road trip, the outer layer, is the persona. This is essentially the mask we wear for the world: the friendly employee, the strict but loving parent, the cool and unbothered friend. It's absolutely crucial for necessary social interaction and for fitting in. But here's the kicker that causes so much pain. Many of us confuse the persona with our actual core self. Jung warned that if you over-identify with your mask, if you believe that surface image is all you are, you inevitably suffocate your genuine self, leading to profound internal emptiness and that nagging feeling that something fundamental is just missing from your life. Even if you seem successful on the outside. Now, let's talk about the real superstar. The concept that defines Jungian psychology, the shadow. This is the unconscious side of you, containing absolutely everything your conscious ego rejects: repressed desires, unacceptable instincts, perceived weaknesses, and interestingly, even unlived positive potential that you were too afraid to express. It's not just the bad stuff, but the uncivilized, raw, and powerful energy of your being. When we fail to acknowledge the shadow, it doesn't disappear. It simply projects outward, meaning you start seeing your own unaccepted flaws mirrored intensely in everyone else around you. Have you ever met someone who immediately infuriates you for what seems like no apparent reason, triggering an intense visceral reaction? That deep dislike often reveals a projected shadow element. For instance, if you constantly criticize others for being hopelessly lazy, it might be that you've repressed your own desperate need for rest or fear of slowing down. Jung said, and this is a quote to put on your mirror, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." It's a painful but absolutely necessary mirror for growth. Accepting the shadow means stopping the blame game and taking back responsibility for your entire inner world. Confronting your shadow is not a casual weekend project. Trust me, it's a terrifying initiation into self-truth. It means admitting that you are fully capable of jealousy, cruelty, and selfishness, sometimes all before breakfast. But here's the beautiful, liberating paradox. Only by acknowledging your darkness and owning those capabilities can you reclaim the immense psychological energy currently trapped in the act of repression. Imagine all that mental effort you spend hiding these traits. Once released, that energy can fuel your creativity, compassion, and true presence. It's about integration, not the impossible task of elimination. Moving deeper into the archetypes. Jung introduced the anima, the inner feminine aspect in the male psyche, and the animus, the inner masculine aspect in the female psyche. These are complex, archetypal images representing the psychological opposite gender within us. When balanced and integrated, they allow us to understand the world, and more importantly ourselves, in a more nuanced, holistic way. A man integrated with his anima might be emotionally expressive and intuitive in a healthy way, while a woman integrated with her animus might be decisive and logically grounded without being rigid. When these inner counterparts, the anima and animus, are deeply repressed or left unintegrated, they wreak absolute havoc, often manifesting in relational chaos and destructive projections. For instance, an unintegrated anima might lead a man to project his entire emotional existence onto a partner, expecting her to fulfill his entire emotional life, resulting in toxic dependency and relationship burnout. Similarly, an unintegrated animus can make a woman overly critical, rigid, or prone to dogmatic, unyielding opinions that alienate others. Recognizing these powerful archetypes is a vital key to healthy partnership and authentic self-awareness. Jung's most groundbreaking and mind-bending idea was the collective, unconscious psychic inheritance shared by all humanity, containing primordial patterns he called archetypes. Think of these powerful forces as psychological blueprints that pre-exist in all of us. The hero, the great mother, the wise old man, the trickster. We don't learn these. We inherit them. They deeply influence our dreams, our myths, our stories, and our cultural symbols. Understanding archetypes shows us that our deepest, most isolating struggles are not unique. They are part of the vast eternal human story. So the big question is, how do we actually access this unconscious goldmine of wisdom? Jung viewed dreams as the royal road to the unconscious, similar to Freud, but with a different emphasis. For Jung, dreams don't just conceal secrets. They primarily compensate. They try to show you what your conscious mind is deliberately ignoring or missing. Keeping a dream journal isn't just quirky. It's initiating a direct, honest conversation with your soul. Pay close attention to recurring symbols or emotional tones. They are powerfully trying to guide your individuation process and show you the way forward. Another incredibly powerful tool Jung developed is called active imagination. This is where you consciously engage with your unconscious images, the strange characters in your dreams, or even those intrusive, anxious thoughts, and allow them to fully develop a story. Instead of trying to push anxiety away or suppress an irrational fear, you sit down and ask it, what does this anxiety look like? What color is it? What does it want from me? By giving these internal figures a voice, you move them from controlling forces to integrated, understandable parts of your personality, dramatically reducing their disruptive power over your life. Jung also coined the fascinating term synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that simply cannot be explained by standard cause and effect. Perhaps you're thinking intently about an old friend you haven't spoken to in years, and suddenly they call you out of the blue. Jung saw these startling moments as evidence that the inner world, the psyche, and the outer world, physical matter, are fundamentally, mysteriously connected. Paying attention to synchronicity isn't mere superstition. It's recognizing that the universe itself is trying to communicate your truest path to you. It's vital to remember, as you embark on this deep dive, that the goal of Jungian self-knowledge, or true individuation, is absolutely not perfection. You will never fully eradicate your shadow or completely silence your deepest fears. The goal is wholeness, accepting that the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the masculine and the feminine, all beautifully coexist within you in one complex package. True strength comes from embracing the messy, magnificent totality of who you are. finally making peace with the internal civil war that has been raging for too long. So, friends, if you take one profound thing away from this deep psychological journey today, let it be this: start exploring your shadows. Examine the masks you wear, and most importantly, listen closely to the whispers in your dreams. Carl Jung gave us the comprehensive map to the psyche. Now it's your turn to bravely explore the territory. What part of your unconscious are you feeling ready and courageous enough to face today? Let me know in the comments below. I always love reading your transformative insights. If this deep dive resonated with your soul and shifted your perspective, please smash that like button, subscribe for more transformative psychological content, and share this video with someone who desperately needs to start their own journey inward. I'll see you all in the next video.